Hey, hey, hey! Gotta get that chapstick on. What's cracking, fam? How are you guys doing today? What's poppin'? How's everyone doing? What is poppin'? Shayna, how are you? Mr. Moderator. I don't know why these comments are so big. There you go. No, do I need to go look at it? Thank you for this, the changes. I'll use that. That's perfect. I wish I would have seen it sooner. This is a lot of pages. And Doc told me. Doc told me what the issue was. He sent me a text message and he told me, so I'll share with you guys what the issue was with LinkedIn Live. Hey, what is cracking? How are you guys doing? I was trying to get my cable, my iPhone cable. Let's get the cable. Let's move some things around so I can charge my phone. Hold, please. I think that cable is dying. Oh, nuts. The cable is indeed dying. That's why I wasn't working on the stream. Okay. What is going on, everyone? What is cracking? Thank you for coming to Tech Talk Tuesdays. K-Walk says, is that epidemic? I like that groove. That was epidemic. I'll put the link in the chat right now. Until it's over. Instrumental. Can I go back a few pages? I just downloaded it today. Oh, I know what I can do. I can go to my, is it that I like it? I know you guys aren't seeing. Let me go to save. I could have sworn I saved it. Yes. All right. Can we get a link? Copy link. Let's come back over here. And boom. That is the link to the track, indiad.live/epidemic. If you are not an Epidemic user, you would like to sign up for a free trial of Epidemic, you can go to indiad.live/epidemic. Try it out. And then the link that I posted above it. So indiad.live/epidemic and the link that I posted above it, which is this one here, is the track that I was just playing. I can put that on. Oh, that's not the one. Oh, wait, that's not the one, K-Walk. Hold on. It's this one? That's the wrong one. What do you mean I'm slow? Wait. Why? Why are you saying I'm slow, Paul? Did you get it before me? We can play it in the background in a little bit of a loop. %20 is probably good. Yeah, I can hear myself. 20% should be all right. And let me just loop this. Perfect. We can jam to this tonight. There you go. Oh, I am slow. Well, you're the best. This is why you are the moderator. And I just come on and just talk, and you know, you're the one. You're the guy. Thank you, Paul. Paul said the music needs to be softer. Get it together. So it's on 20% now. Does the music still need to be softer? How's 15%? This is 15%. Is this a little bit better? Thank you. Paul texts in all caps. If you are not friends with Paul and you guys become friends and he starts texting you, especially while you're live streaming, don't get hurt feelings because Paul yells at you while you are live streaming with all caps. I love you. I love you. Oh, K-Walk. K-Walk says, question. How do you judge / rate the life of cables? Come back. I need to do a house cleaning. I mean, so sometimes Paul, who's yelling? Now you're yelling, Marcus. See my Superman curl? It always happens. I cut my hair and now my Superman curl, it's more accentuated. Well, I saw your message, Paul. I'm gonna say that I didn't know. And let me text Paul back. But, so what I will say is that I use Ecamm Live Beta, and so these features are not yet available. This is not Ecamm Live Prime Time. This is Ecamm Live Beta, okay? So it is not yet available. Although you can get access to the beta. The beta is available if you go to Ecamm Live. It's not. Hold on, I'll put the link here. We have our own Facebook community. And in order to download it, you do have to go to a different location to download it. I mean, Paul, you did see that Alec did a whole stream on it last week. So there is a link if you want to access the beta, not just for now. I've been using the beta oh, Paul, I am slow. What is happening right now? It's probably the latency too. Okay. Paul is much quicker than me, so I'm going to just let go of the wheel and let Paul do what he does best, because that is why he is Mr. Moderator, right? K-Walk says, K-Walk has all the questions. It's Tech Tuesday. I come with the questions. Okay. So, I did launch. Ooh, today is the first time I'm also streaming to LinkedIn. If it worked. Actually, let me see that. Let me go over to LinkedIn. And we can start off with that really quick. We can start off with the multi-streaming, but let me check out my LinkedIn. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold on, let's open up LinkedIn real quick. And while I open up LinkedIn, this answers K-Walk's first question. How do you rate the life of cables? Well, obviously, if you plug it in, I'm going to be a smart ass, K-Walk. If you plug it in and it doesn't work each time, you got a cable on the fritz. That's what happened. I plugged it in on one side. It didn't work, so I flipped it. And you know, lightning cables, they don't work like that. Lightning cables, it doesn't matter which is the direction you put it in. It works either way. So this cable only works, it's charging now. This cable only works in the direction that it is currently plugged in through. So for me, and I noticed when it was plugged in, because usually I'll use this cable, it's a 6-foot cable, and I use this cable connected directly to my computer to bring in my iPhone to Ecamm as a camera source. So when I was with Janice on Sunday, I had plugged it in and it wasn't working. I see you. All right, where's my? Let me go to my page. So let me do this real quick. It was supposed to pick up. Oh wait, shouldn't I be able to see where I'm streaming to? Oh, it says that I'm streaming. Very cool. 3 hours. Hold on, I don't see that I'm live. Oh, I am live. How exciting. Wait, block my face. There you go. Look, I'm live on LinkedIn. How cool is that? All right, so I need to. K-Walk says, I hope you didn't have an agenda. I'm going to squirrel it. You guys are always squirrel me. That's okay. Yeah. So, okay. So I answered the question. Yeah, after a few years as well, even like USB, right? Like we have tons of USB cables and like the USB regular, we're not talking about USB C, regular USB. I think I got a bunch of these are all USB-C. There you go. So USB, right? This is regular USB, but you can see here the inside of this USB cable is blue. Older USB cables won't have the blue. Usually that's at least 3.0 connection, 3.1. So if you have a bunch of these that don't have this blue in it, I would 100% recommend that you throw out those older ones because, and this is a USB to USB-C cable, right? So obviously this is going to be a newer cable because it's USB-C, right? And it's at least 3.0. That's why it's blue on the inside. So that's a fun tip. I don't know if you knew that, but it is 3.0. So with the older USB cables, I would absolutely recommend that you start cleaning out those ones, right? Because this USB-A, also known as USB-A, this is USB-A. Oh, I'm no longer sharing the screen. Bring this bad boy over here. USB-A, right? Old school. Where is it? There you go. Old school type USB. We have tons of these. So, yep, blue 3.0, good. Get rid of the old ones. HDMI cables as well. If you had HDMI cables for a handful of years, I would also recommend, and this is what we're going to do. Hold on. I'm just going to put on an epidemic playlist out here. And that was, just so you know, what was that? That is from a hip hop. Was it old school? I don't know what that was. Honestly, if I just go to liked sounds, just go to my like sounds and then I can play songs like that. There you go.
Yeah, I never met someone like you. Oh, to your mama, she a bless.
All right, I lowered it. We should be okay. Let me know. Paul will text me and let me know if it's too loud or not. I'm controlling it through. It's on Chrome. This should be okay here. I'll keep an eye on it. And Paul will text me to yell at me if it's too loud. Right. So going back to the HDMI, what you want to do is if you have HDMI cables that are probably, again, 3, 4, 5-ish years ago, I would 100% recommend that you start replacing those, because there is HDMI 2.0 and now even 2.1. Man, you're taking me back to like even my Radio Shack days, back when I used to be a Radio Shack manager. Not all HDMI cables are created equally. And so even with like the amount of shielding that an HDMI cable has, it's not going to transmit the best signal. And you know, HDMI does audio and video in one. So you shouldn't be skimping out, because you want to get the best audio quality as well as the best video quality in that one cable. So back in the day when I worked at Radio Shack, Monster cables, right, used to be what everybody got. Monster cables were really expensive because they had the gold tips and the shielding and blah, 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 all of that good stuff. But I would definitely, the cables don't really, it depends. It's like hit or miss with the HDMI cables. Like if they have language on the sleeves itself. So you would just have to be a judge of, oh, how long have I had that? Look at that. We nerding out today. I like this kind of stuff. This is good. K-Walk says, all right, I'm going to sit back and shut up. No. This is good stuff. It's Tech Talk Tuesday, right? Like, we got to educate each other. Partition Wizard, USB color code. Look at, Paul is coming with all the stuff today. Definitely. So you want to check all of that stuff out. Save those. Paul, can you text me those or put it in a link or something in like a note or something so I can have that bookmarked for later? Okay, let's see. I see Shayna came back. Marcus, thank you. I know I'm a little bit behind with the comments, so thank you for letting me know that it is live. Perfect. There needs to be a way to recycle all those USB cables. All right. And last question from K-Walk for now. Is that a mechanical keyboard? I don't get the appeal. What I'm missing. Oh, K-Walk. K-Walk. I'm going to pause that. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to do this. Hold on. All right, I'm just going to write a note. You don't get that appeal? Listen. Not all of them are, you know, the best. Let's put the music back on. I wrote a note to you. You can't see the note. You could see me typing, but I wrote, "Hi there, K-Walk. How are you doing today? I can't wait to have you on my stream. Mechanical keyboards are the best." That was what I typed for you as I was writing that note. You know what? I am a fan of the more clickier style. So that one wasn't my first choice, believe it or not. I moved my monitor over. I don't mess around with that. It's all lopsided. But as I was moving my mic around, I moved my monitor, but that's all right. I did it for the fam. Logitech, yes, it's the Logitech. That one is the Logitech MX keys. that is what that is. I got it from Best Buy because you guys know me and Best Buy. Not MX keys, MX mechanical. I used to have the MX keys. Link in the chat. The MX mechanical. You can get 3 versions of it. And I did get the version that was available in store to buy at Best Buy. Best Buy, you can order them. I am a clicky kind of girl, but I needed a keyboard. My other keyboard had broken and I wanted one. I didn't want a temporary one. So, but I've been enjoying it. I had the MX keys before. I've been thoroughly enjoying the MX mechanical, and because of what I do with the bank, right, with numbers and stuff, I absolutely have to have. You can get it without the number pad on the side, but because I'm, you know, my day job, I'm constantly writing numbers and doing math. I have to have a number pad. So my keyboards must always have the number pad attached to it. Wait, mechanical keyboards should be shoved in a dark, warm place. Okay, I'm not alone. The noise typing gives me flashbacks. I'm that many years old. The best version is the one you don't buy. You know what? Oh, hey, girl. Hey, how are you doing today? I don't think Angie likes my mechanical keyboard neither. Angie, I'll say that that's the one time that she's probably happy that we don't live together yet. Because she does not, like, when I type, it does not make her very happy. So luckily when I'm at her house, you know, I put my space downstairs in the basement. And when we do move in together, it will be a separate space because she does not. You would find it out on trash day. She really doesn't like the mechanical keyboard. That's so funny. Clearly you guys don't like the mechanical keyboard neither. All right. All right, so let's get into Ecamm 4.0. Let's do what we do. Paul has a nice write-up that I get to go over. And so what we are going to do for now, let me close out my notes. Let me rearrange some windows. I hope you guys are watching from a computer, because if you're watching from a mobile device, I have a wide screen and things are gonna get kind of small. You have been warned. I'm just moving some things around. Before I go live demo mode. And here we are. I like the clicky noise when I am typing. That way. Well, then there you have it, folks. Angelica is telling you how she feels about my mechanical keyboard. You type 5 and it's just clickety, 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 and annoying. Well, there you have it. Clickety, 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 clickety. Ecamm 4.0. This is the beta that you are looking at right now. I'm currently using the beta. Paul did post the link. Let me go grab that right quick. And what I did over here on the right-hand side, these are my comments. And this is not new, but if you don't take advantage of the search option, we can zoom in. Is that Zoom working? No, it's not, right? That's what I was saying. The Zoom doesn't work for me. I don't think the Zoom works for me. But anyway, let me favorite this comment over here. You can grab the beta at ecamm.com/beta if you like. There you go. And Paul helped me out again. And it is a clickable link. So Beta 4.0 will be released to the public on Thursday. There is a launch party Ken and Glenn will be talking about it. You can ask your questions. They'll be going over the features. So you definitely want to make sure that you tune in to the Ecamm YouTube channel. Sorry, my headphones are like dragging me back. You want to make sure you tune into the Ecamm YouTube channel. Ken and Glenn will be going live on Thursday to be talking about all of the features. So we got some new things that you're looking at with this Ecamm 4.0. You have this camera switcher. This is new. You can see I have mine looked a little bit different. So this box, as I move around, you can do some things. You can resize the camera switcher. So you can see as I resize this over here, right? Paul, let me know what that looks like on stream if I zoom in. Because I feel like what I'm looking at, it's not zooming in properly. That's what I was trying to tell Doc. It never works for me. And I'm doing the shortcut he gave me, the control. But it looks like what you guys are seeing, what I'm zooming in on. It's fine. I'll go back to the features. Camera switcher. So you can see over here, if I make this bigger, you have all sources and then you have A and B. So if I click on all sources, these are all the cameras that are currently active. I'll block my head right now. These are all the sources, camera sources that are currently active in my setup. It zoomed a little. That's so weird. So I have my main one here, my Elgato potato cam, my face cam there, and it's too close to the monitor. I have to remount it. This is the behind the scenes camera, my overhead camera, and then for guest one. So I'm going to move this back down and we're going to go to a regular scene. So now check this out. I'm currently on this one here. And all I have to do is we look down here, right? If I click on that, that's going to now change my camera window. Click again. That's the behind the scenes shot, the Koa shot. This is the overhead shot right here. And if I had a guest, that would bring on the guest. And you can see as I clicked on guest one, it made guest number 2. If I click on that, right? Guest 1, guest 2. And if I want to come back to me, I just click on myself again, right? So these are all the sources, my cameras here. You can do some things. The other thing, there you go. That's working. No, it's not. That's so weird. Hold on. I want to do something. Let me turn off output. And let me turn on the program. Let's go back. Okay, and mouse. I don't know why it doesn't work for me, the zoom, the way it's supposed to zoom. But that's okay. That's for another day for me to figure out. But basically over here, what you guys are looking at is what's highlighted. It's a little recording symbol and it says ISO recording activated, right? So on this main camera, I've recorded ISO recording. On the guest, we can see it here as well. And let me turn the output back on. I need to see what's happening. Okay. On the guest interview mode, that is also turned on. Hey, Glenda, how are you? I hope you're feeling better. Thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. And then my USB video is also highlighted, right? So right above, right over here somewhere, you can see it. There's a little recording. If I click on A and B, now what you can do is that you can associate your cameras with a letter of the alphabet, right? So camera A, camera B, camera C, right? And that works where a lot of us use more than one cam link. So you can see here, right now I usually have 2 cam links associated. I have a cam link, a USB, I have a port, I have a few different capture cards, but if you're using the same capture card, that can start to get a little confusing in your setup. Or if you just know, you know what, camera A is always going to be my main camera, and camera B is always going to be my overhead. Camera C is always going to be my behind the scene shot. You can organize yourself that way. And this is where it starts to get really cool, is that as you start to build out your scenes, you can go ahead and always have it built out within your scenes. So if I come over to my scenes window and I do a brand new scene, my scenes always start from scratch. If I put a camera overlay here, just going to duplicate this 4 times. And the shortcut to duplicate on a Mac is just holding down the Option button. So I duplicated myself 4 times. And if I come over here to where this little pencil is, we click on the pencil. Now you can see it says video source. It opens up another window. If I drop down over here on top, you got camera A, B, C, D, and E. Well, I want the first window to be camera A. I want my second camera to be camera B, which is my overhead. I want my third camera to be camera C, which is the Ecamm in the background. Gonna flip that really quick. Okay. So this is my behind the scenes, and camera A, B, C, D is the potato cam. Oh no. Looks like I have, oh, I see. I have it labeled twice. So camera E is my potato cam. The potato cam. So as you're building out your scenes, that can be really helpful to organize yourself, because sometimes what happens is a limitation of the Mac with the cam links is that the order resets itself, or the cam link, what is cam link number 1, when you restart the Mac computer, cam link number 1 becomes cam link number 2, and it messes up your scenes if that's how you do it according to the cam link. So if you just come into this camera switcher here and you label your cameras for camera A, camera B, camera C, and you do your scenes with camera A, B, and C, as long as in the camera switcher the right camera is selected, it just saves a lot of time. So for those of you guys that do have multiple cam links, this is a lifesaver for those of us that have more than one cam link in the system. And when you restart the computer, if you don't know, lucky for you, you are winning. But if you have suffered from this, you know what the struggle is and you understand why this is such a huge thing. Now, along with that, what I pointed out to you guys, right, was this little recording tab over here. So if I can't really, I don't know why I can't zoom in, but that's fine. But this little recording issue, if we go into the settings, the Ecamm Live preferences, let's move this over. There are some new tabs on here. And under the Ecamm Live preferences, you have your general, your account, your stream. There is the recording tab. And under the recording tab, now you have some options. So yeah, general, account, stream, and recording. And under the recording tab, you have record all broadcasts right here. And you can see right under it, record isolated video tracks. And you can see you have some options. So you can choose which are the ones that you want to record. Camera A, camera B, right? So I can choose that here. I want it recording. So I can choose, if I didn't want it to choose camera A, I can just select, or if I needed to change camera B, whatever that was, right? I can move things around. So if I wanted to record my behind the scenes instead, I would change that to my camera B. If I didn't want it to record my overhead camera, right? So I would just make the adjustments on the back end. Or if I didn't want to record any of my backgrounds, my cameras, I just wanted to record my main camera, which is what you guys are seeing here. And I do want it to record the guests. By default, this is on interview guests. And I'm going to show you what that looks like next and why that is so huge. You definitely want to have, if you are a person that does interviews and you're bringing someone in, or you just have a co-host that is always in with you, you absolutely want to make sure that you keep this on your interview guests. The audio, again, what do you want it to do? Do you want it to have program audio? Do you want it to have the primary mic? And why is that important? So the reason why that's important is because of what I'm going to show you next, and it's all about repurposing content, right? So I'm going to give you a real life example. So you can choose your audio. I would not do program audio. Program audio is everything, right? So right now I have obviously my main microphone, but we're also listening to background music. That's the program audio. The program audio is everything that is baked in. If I go ahead and I do a sound effect, that's baked in. That's a sound effect on my Rodecaster Pro. And if I were to play a sound effect on my Ecamm window, which is right over here, right? There's this one here. Where is this? I don't know if this is going to play. Oh, the applause is really low. Right? So playing the applause. So the program audio is all of those audio files baked in. Ecamm defaults it so that it records only your primary mic. And the reason why is because, let's say there is a piece, let's say even in this stream, I wanted to repurpose that piece of content. And I didn't want to have the music on. I didn't want to have those sound effects playing. I just wanted to have my microphone, my voice, and what the image is on scene. Well, now it's going to just isolate those two specific items that I chose. It's going to isolate this camera. So turning off live demo mode, it's going to give me a clean recording just like this. It's not going to record the sound effects, and it's not going to record that background music. It's just going to record my microphone, the primary mic. And let me give you an example of that. And then you also want to apply camera effects to recorded video sources. Another thing that was added is the record only countdown. I'll come back to that. So now check this out. I'm going to go to my recordings folder. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, let's get out of live demo mode. We're out of live demo mode, and I do have a screen share. All right, so we're sharing the screen. Let me see. Yes. Movies. Let's bring this over here. I keep trying to zoom in. It's not working, but that's all right. Go to my Ecamm live recordings over here. Let's try to make this. Interesting. Oh, I know why. There you are. I was just trying to get myself back on screen. All right, so these are my Ecamm live recordings. Let me bring you over here. These are my Ecamm live recordings that I have on my computer. I'm going to go to the recording that I had on Sunday. So Sunday was the 22nd. That was when I had Janice on, right? And you don't need to read the files, but this is what I really want to show you. So I have camera A, camera B, guest 1, Janice Anderson, and then the show. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up this show. And that's what it normally records. All right. So this is the show with me and Janice, right? We can skim through it. And as we skim through it, this was Sunday's show. So you can see here that this is the whole show, right? So you can see, like in this scene, I have my overlays, the borders, my phone is over here, right? With that, Janice is on top, I'm on the bottom. So that's the whole show. If I wanted to take a portion of the show itself with how it looks like, then I can just take a portion. I can throw this into Final Cut. I can trim where I wanted to record, right? So if I wanted to do from here, repurpose it from here to here and whatever, right? She started talking about this book. So if I wanted to talk, this is 2602. I'm going to remember that, right? So 2602 of the stream, 26 minutes and 2 seconds in, we started talking about the book Atomic Habits, and she started giving some good insight, right? This is the whole show. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to now come back, and you can see Janice, guest 1, was recorded in isolated video. So I'm going to open that up. Check this out. And now if you haven't already figured it out, you can see this is a clean feed of Janice's audio, right? Coming in. So now this is a clean feed of Janice's video, rather, coming into the show, right? So if I go back to 2602, I'm going to scrub through this. There you go. And at 2602, this is a clean feed of Janice. So if I wanted to repurpose now my guest, because she said something so great and I don't want it to have the overlays like this. And let me move my picture out the way. Let me just get myself off the screen. If I don't want it to have the overlays and I just want to repurpose what Janice said, I have a clean feed of Janice, no overlays, just her camera, and I can throw this into Final Cut, and now I can repurpose this, whether it's on YouTube on a 16:9, or I can repurpose this video file and crop her in, right? I can crop her in over here. I can crop her in over here, right? Where we just do it this way, like this, and I can get a nice vertical video of Janice without any of this extra stuff here. Now, if we come back, right? If we come back and I go to now my camera, which is camera A, which is what I was recording. Let's open up camera A. And that's just me. Let's resize that. That's me and Koa. Because Koa's a pain in the butt. Right? So the same exact thing. So if I come back and I scrub to 2602. Try to get this here. Right? And so this is when we're both talking about the books. And so if I know that I did start talking about whatever it was with Atomic Habits. So if there was something there that I wanted to repurpose, now I have 3 different options to choose from when it comes to repurposing content. And you can see now, I hope you can see what some of the power is with recording isolated video tracks and why this has been such a huge ask for people. And it's so powerful, and it's such an amazing feature with Ecamm Live, because you can do the entire stream, which is what we've always had, your overlays, all of that good stuff. But what happens is, especially if you're trying to repurpose for vertical video, you set up your stream like this in an interview style format, right? You have your overlays, that's your branding, all of that stuff. That's great when you're doing it on your regular 16:9 format. But when you want to take just a small piece and repurpose it into vertical shorts, reels, all of that stuff, vertical 9:16 format, these overlays and things can start to get distracting, right? They can kind of not make your video look so great when you want to repurpose at that point. So being able to come in and say, boom, I'm going to take this and throw this into whatever my video editor is, Final Cut, DaVinci, LumaFusion, whatever it is you use, I'm going to repurpose this. And maybe we'll talk about this next week, Tuesday, taking a video ISO, an isolated video track, and repurposing it for 16:9. And what's the best way to do that now that you have a clean feed? That is huge, huge, huge. I was really excited for that. Let me start to close out these things and let's just come back to our scene here. What is going on? What's cracking, man? Yeah. It's popping. Ecamm 4.0 will be released on Thursday, January 26th. Join the lunch party, and there is your link. You definitely want to hang out. There will be an updated 4.0 manual that will be released on Thursday that explains all of the features and the options in Ecamm. I highly recommend you check it out. I highly recommend that as well, Paul. I highly recommend that everyone checks out that manual because there's a ton of information. Okay, so since we were looking at settings, let me turn live demo mode back on. And since we were looking at some settings, right? Let me block my head over here. Looking at the Ecamm live settings, we talked about the recording tab. That's new. The next tab over, so we got recording, and the next tab over, we have destinations. Folks, we now have multi-streaming, which is huge, huge, huge. Multi-streaming. So I'm going to talk to you about Ecamm first, and then I'm going to talk to you as your community manager for Switchboard Live, because sometimes there is a circumstance where you will need to rely on other platforms to stream if you're streaming to multiple social media platforms. However, Ecamm gives you the ability to stream up to 10 destinations at one time. So you can see here, I have a handful of destinations already in. I have my Switchboard destinations, my business page, my Facebook page, my YouTube page, my LinkedIn page. Let's get live. Mr. Moderator testing and some more Switchboard Live pages, right? You can add a destination here. So you got Facebook, make it bigger. You have Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Twitch, Amazon. Amazon comments are now coming in. Broadcast to Instagram Live if you have access. RTMP, Restream, Switchboard, your community manager, and OneStream, right? So some options. So you can see we are partners with Ecamm. They are listing us there. So you would go and authorize. That's where I needed to. That's where I needed to bring my laptop in to show you guys what it looks like. Basically, when you go to add the multi-streaming, and this is, he's 100% right. Oh, Mr. Moderator says, keep in mind, video ISO will only record two camera sources plus all your guest video and audio. Yes, that is true. That is something to keep in mind. So video ISO will only record two camera sources, so camera A and camera B. That's why you go in, that's why for me, camera A is always my main camera, which is what you guys are seeing, right? This camera here. That's my A6400. I'm just bringing my Loop Deck Live a little bit closer. It's my A6400. That's camera A. This one right over here, this bad boy. And then camera B, usually sometimes you guys know that I usually have a camera over here, right around over here as an over-the-shoulder shot. So if I wanted that, then I would just select that camera if I plugged in. Or like when Angie's here, if I wanted to have a camera, you guys know that when Angie's here, Angie sits right over here, right? So if I wanted to have a camera that it was just on her, or a different angle of us, right? I would maybe put one over there and facing that way so that we can have two different camera angles. So you can, when you go into your settings, you want to check that out, right? The other thing that Paul brings up, a great point as well, is that my stream right now, I'm streaming to 1080p because I'm also streaming to LinkedIn. But my stream normally, when I stream to just YouTube and Facebook, I'll stream to 4K, right? I can stream to 4K, but your recordings, your video ISO recording, so the full recording, the program itself will be recorded in 4K, but those files, those isolated video files, will be recorded in 1080. That is the maximum. And that is because recording multiple video isolated tracks, anything above 1080 will put tons of strain on your computer. And so that was a decision of the developers to not have computers crashing and to not have all of these things happening. You are maxed out. And that is not just an Ecamm thing. A lot of people don't know the ATEM Mini does have ISO video. ATEM Mini, first of all, with the ATEM Minis or the ATEM Pros, all of those devices max out at 1080. The ISO video maxes out at 1080. So that is not just an Ecamm thing. I'm telling you right now, Ecamm just started picking up. There are other devices. The ATEM is popular for isolated video tracks, but the isolated video tracks that you get with the Blackmagic ATEM devices is maxed out at 1080, and that is because there is a bunch of strain and all of that stuff, okay? So that is a good point. Thank you, my good sir. Exactly that. Paul says you need to make sure that you have the disk space. Went back in demo mode. You have to make sure that you have the disk space. That means you have to have enough hard drive space because the files can get really big. Let me come back. I'm trying to see that file, what the size was. If we click on get info. That one file that I did with Janice, and it's actually two because the stream stopped abruptly. So if I add both, 21 gigs for one stream where I had two video ISO tracks. Can close. I'll push this to the background. So I just hit on get info. And the first portion before the thing was cut off was 6.64 gigs. 6.64 gigs. And then the second one was 15.15 gigs. Right? So one video recorded isolated tracks at 1080p, recorded 21 gigs. So I have a Mac Studio, and my Mac Studio has 2 terabytes of storage. Because then what I do is, this is my folder that you guys are looking at, right? Like my Ecamm Live recordings, I have it in my movies folder. Ecamm Live. These are all my Ecamm Live recordings. And then after, so what I'll probably do is, you can see here, previous 30 days, I only have 2 files. Previous 30 days, these are my files within the last 7 days, right? And then today, yesterday and today. At the end of the month, I will take these files and I will move them to an external hard drive so that I can keep my computer efficient. What is going on, Mr. Hicks? How are you? Yeah, the SM7B, the custom SM7B. I'm loving the red. Loving, you know me, standing out a little bit. Goes great with my background. Matches the red chair. You know. What is, I know, Kevin, what is cracking? How are you? Yeah. Gretchen, ¿cómo estás? Yeah. I got to get on the NAS. I'm going to get one. I'm just waiting for the right price, but I am going to get one, right? Because that's the better move. And then thank you. I got a haircut on Thursday, Gretchen. Hold on, just for you, Gretchen. Hold on, had to get it all tightened up. My hair gets all, you saw last week, my hair gets all my afro starts to come out, and it's just, anyway. So yes, I am going to get a NAS, and then I will work on some automations so that the files can move on their own. That's going to be a whole process. I just gotta, what I'm going to get next is I am going to invest. I was telling Paul, I am going to invest in that deck link from Blackmagic, the quad, where it's 4 HDMI inputs. But that's like an $800 investment, because the deck link quad is $545. But then you can stream in 4K, 60 frames per second. It's 4 HDMI inputs. So then all those, right? So right now I have I have 3 technically. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 cam links and 2 separate other branded capture cards. The quad link will eliminate all of those. It'll free up all of those USB ports. And I'm going to get a PCIe enclosure, and then it'll be connected via Thunderbolt. Very excited on that. Oh, Bob, thanks. You guys are going to make me feel great for the rest of the evening. Really boost up my morale and my self-esteem, my confidence. Appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Yeah. On the automation, I did have some automations running. I got to get back into it. I'm going to turn that also into, like, a live stream series and stuff like that, because I did test out some automations. Paul uses Hazel. So I was using Hazel, and there was another one, and you can do automations. Like, you can run an automation that it'll back up, let's say, your Ecamm live profile. So you can use, like, hey, we're totally getting off topic, but that's okay. We're nerding out. You can use Hazel with Keyboard Maestro to run automations like opening up Keycam, clicking on backup profile. You choose whatever you want, to choose it. And you can set that up basically that realistically you should be backing up your profile. If you make changes the way I make changes, if you're remote producing or something like that, at minimum once a month, you should be backing up your Ecamm live profile, right? So with a program like Hazel, you can set up an automation that it'll back it up for you. And I started to configure that and work that out, and I had some of it running. I just cheaped out. I never paid for the software, so I just have to go back and pay for the Hazel software and for Keyboard Maestro, because they both have really cool independent features. And then you can take it a step further, where then you can have Hazel then move the files right after whatever it is, once a month, the 1st of the month, the 15th of the month, whatever that looks like, into your NAS at that point, right? So like what I just showed you guys, that I have my Ecamm live recordings in my movie folder. I can say that the 30th of every month, every 30 days, move the files, create a backup. Maybe I can do a backup and then create and move the files, because I have a 5 terabyte hard drive connected to my computer. So I can just have a backup of a backup, right? Have one on the 5 terabyte and then have one on the NAS, and then really offload and have an efficient workflow. So I did start to mess with that. So I'll get back on it, and we'll do some shows on that as well. Dean, happy belated birthday. And to Richard, you guys both had birthdays within the last 2 weeks. Dean, I think your birthday was a few days prior to Richard's birthday. So happy belated birthday, Dean. And happy belated birthday to my friend Rich. Love you guys. And yes, it's not a Keith Pelzer rap, but I did follow one of Keith's ideas. It is vinyl wrap, similar, but I did it myself. But I did get the inspiration from Keith. I don't think Keith does the yoke though. I did take it a step further, and I did do the yoke and the bottom. So I literally tore apart the whole thing, and you can see that the yoke over here, I did all of that good stuff. So anyway, yeah, I think Keith leaves all of this stuff black and just does this and this. But anyway, thanks. I'm loving the SM7B. I'm loving the SM7B. No, it's all right. It's good stuff. I don't mind when you guys squirrel me. It's funny. It's, again, Tech Talk Tuesdays, right? She was squirreling me earlier. But we talk about good stuff. I mean, it's pertinent to Tech Talk Tuesdays, so I don't mind. Noodle Soft. Is that for Hazel, Paul? Let us know. Must be. All right, so what we were talking about, I'll turn live demo mode back on. And what we were talking about was how now Ecamm. Nope. Okay. We have our multi-streaming. And so basically I can't do it because I'm now in the live, and I thought about bringing my laptop and I didn't. But basically what you can do is that when you set up a new stream, so over here it says finish. When I'm not actively live, this would say new. There is a new tab also up over here. So where the recordings, you will see that change if you are not actively using the beta. Where before here was a drop down and it was destinations, right? So did you want to record? Did you want to send it to Restream? Did you want to send it to YouTube, Facebook, right? So you had a drop down here and you would choose all in one. Well, that button now no longer says that. There, it's moved basically to where this is when you are not streaming, and it's another drop down, and you have 3 options, and the 3 options say stream, record, and they're toggle options. So it's a toggle option that will say stream or record, and then for your virtual camera as well. Let me see. I may or may not have some pre-access to a manual that may or may not be coming out. Well, the manual is coming out, so I may or may not have access. Let's see. Let me see. I just want to get the proper language here. Paul, I'm not seeing that. I feel like I know you wouldn't have missed it. But with the stream, those options. Adds a new mode menu to the main window with switches for recording and virtual camera. I would add stream because it's 3. It's the stream, record, and virtual camera. And those are all toggle options. So then basically what you do is over here, you'll have where it says stream, you turn the stream on, and then once you turn the stream on from the toggle option, you'll come down here and this will say new. And once you click up new, it'll have a pop-up box. And then that pop-up box is where you can select your destinations. So you can select up to 10 destinations to stream from. You can put your title and you can put your description there. You can put your thumbnail, and then you can choose to either go live now or you can choose to schedule the live. There are additional options if you are streaming to like Facebook, a personal Facebook profile, or if you're streaming to, let's say, a YouTube profile. There are also additional options that you can choose. So if it's on YouTube, you can cycle between public, unlisted, and private. And if you are streaming to a personal Facebook page, you can choose between everyone, friends, and only your view yourself only. So there are those options. Once you schedule the stream, you will see that it gives you the option for the link directly to either like go directly to that link, or it gives you the option to copy the share page link so that you can schedule it in your Ecamm live window. Once it's scheduled, it'll show up, and then you can just grab the link and go and post it on your socials really quick. So then that brings me to, I had some struggles today, and if you are active in the Ecamm live beta community, I had some struggles today with scheduling to LinkedIn. I'm currently streaming to LinkedIn, but I did have some issues when I was creating the post with Ecamm's new multi-streaming option. And I kept getting a schedule stream failed for LinkedIn. But I was able to stream live. I was able to hit go live just to LinkedIn. So I did post in the Facebook beta community, and Doc text me right away. And the limitation is that with LinkedIn, you actually have to create an event directly in LinkedIn first. So you'll go to your LinkedIn profile, you'll go to events. It's on the left-hand side, the left column towards the bottom where your picture is, if you're logged into your LinkedIn profile. And then towards the bottom, there's events. You'll click on new event. You'll say that it's a live stream. And it'll say, are you going to use like a third-party software or something like that? So you'll go through the motions, and then you'll choose the date. You'll choose the time. You'll go through all of those motions of scheduling it. So the title. So I literally copy and pasted because I had already scheduled it to both my Facebook and my YouTube pages. So what I did was I went back to my YouTube and I copy and pasted the title and I put it in the LinkedIn event. Went back, copy the description from YouTube and put that in the description in the LinkedIn event. Made sure the start time was the same. So I was starting today at 7 p.m., right? So on LinkedIn, I put the start time the same. And once you're done scheduling the event on LinkedIn, on your LinkedIn profile, Ecamm will then pick it up. And so then I went and I followed those directions, and Doc said that he's actually going to do a tutorial video on that. So you should see that coming soon from Doc Rock. But basically, I followed his instructions to a T, and instantaneously, when I came back to my scheduled videos, my scheduled live in the Ecamm window, it showed up, all three. So that when I went live today, all I did was hit go live once. And because it was picked up to go live at the same time to those three different destinations, you can confirm that I am actively live on LinkedIn. So I thought that that was really cool. That was a workaround, Paul. That's how I was able to get it to work. The other thing to know that is also a limitation of LinkedIn, and that's why I'm streaming to YouTube and Facebook at 1080, is that your max stream to LinkedIn is at 1080p. So that was an error. Another error that I was getting was because I normally stream to 4K to YouTube and to Facebook. And so what Facebook will do, because Facebook doesn't take 4K, Facebook sometimes will be 1080p and sometimes it'll be 720, right? But I don't have to do it, the limitation. Facebook will automatically downgrade it to what their max is. So I can keep it in the Ecamm settings at 4K. YouTube will pick that up. And when I start streaming out to Facebook, it'll automatically downgrade. Well, it will give you an error. So when I try to go live now, right, when I hit go live now to LinkedIn at 4K, Ecamm yelled at me and said, you have to change your stream size. The max stream size is 1080p. And when I hit OK, Ecamm changed it for me. And then once it changed it for me, I was able to then do a live stream, a test to LinkedIn Live at 1080p. So that's another limitation to know as well, that if you're going to be simulcasting, multi-streaming using Ecamm Live, and LinkedIn is one of those destinations, then your max destination for all of your streams, you're going to be capped out at 1080p because there's no way to do it accordingly. So that's another good feature there. Let's see. And don't forget to hit that like button. I'm seeing 2 likes and there's 8 of you guys watching right now. I don't have a subscribe button right now because I cleaned up all my stuff. Let me see. Oh, wait, is it? It may not. There you go. Let me move this over. Let's move this bad boy. Let me remind you guys. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button. I saw somebody else hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you so much. Paul is reminding you guys as well. Appreciate you guys. All right. Thank you. You guys are the best. You know, we just got to do the call to actions, right? Sometimes it's just people forget. You come in, you start watching, you dive in, you just start talking to the community and you naturally forget. And as a content creator, sometimes we feel a little weird to like give people the reminders, but sometimes it's just a genuine thing of, hey, we forgot. All right, let's see. What else do I want to talk about on here? Oh, the isolated video tracks are also for M1 and M2 only. So if you are still running an i9 Mac using Ecamm, it's probably time, honestly, because the Mac, the M1 Mini now at this point, it's the M2 Mini at what, $499, I think it is, coming in. If you have an education discount, I think you can get them super cheap. Man, get that M2 Mini. The M2 MacBook Air is still good for streaming. And those have been on sale for $999. So $1,000 for an M2 laptop. Man, listen, definitely might be time. Some cool things. So like camera effects here. I'll try to go through some really cool features really quick. There is a blur option. So let me unlock this scene here. There's a blur option. So now I can blur my camera and you can see that I'm starting to get blurry there. And that's cool if you want to do like, you know, something kind of, you want to do it maybe over here and you're doing a countdown timer, right? And if you're doing some like voyeur stuff, doing a countdown timer. And when you change the stream, you can just kind of fade in. Cool feature. I mean, we've talked about it, but that is an option. There's also the sepia tone as well. So if I wanted to just stream, have my black and white background, and just wanted to do a stream like this, we can do the stream like this, a sepia tone. So that's another option. I'll leave this on for now. Let's see what else is on here. I use virtual cam for Ecamm. I need to upgrade. Yeah, I use virtual cam for everything. I put something on Swappa this week. Thanks to your guidance. Ooh, fantastic. Did it sell? Let me know. I got you. Mystery guest effect. Yeah, you can do both. Look, I can do the blur effect and a sepia tone. That's cool. The mystery guest, you're right. You can use that when somebody's coming in. You can just kind of blur it this way. Have the guest come in, blur their camera. That's a good point. That's a really cool idea, K-Walk. If you have a special guest and they start talking, you can even take it a step further. Hold on. We can take it a step further. See, now we talking.
So I saw the guy on the corner and I was afraid that he was going to...
Is it this one? No.
This one? There you go. Not as much reverb. Man, you sure they can't tell who I am behind the camera? Because, you know, snitches get stitches and they end up in ditches out in these streets.
All right, that's enough of that. But that's a good combo between the two, right? Special guest effect. I like that. True crime style, right? We can do it. Well, we can do it this way. We can do not that sepia tone, but we can do it black and white. And then we can blur, right? Usually it's something like this, right? Like that's so funny. It's usually something kind of like this where you can't really, and then we'll come in.
So I just saw he pulled out a gun and he went bang! And then the guy fell to the floor and all I heard was like this big... I heard this big... And I didn't know what to do. I was so scared.
All right. That's enough of that. All right. Let's come back. We can come back to the sepia tone. Okay, I will do it. Listen, you want your whole appearance like that, ladies' night? I will do it. We will do it. I am totally down. All right, let's see what else do we have here. Add support for Amazon Live comments. I can't demonstrate that because I'm not yet an Amazon Live influencer. I have yet to get accepted into the program. However, there have been people who have tested it. Comments are coming through if you are streaming to Amazon. So that is super dope. Add support for scheduling LinkedIn live broadcasts. We just talked about that. I wonder if that's what the support is. Interesting. Paul, I know Doc, I got the instructions from Doc. So obviously the instructions he gave me were the right way. But then the language, add support for scheduling LinkedIn live broadcasts. I don't know about that language. All right. Add support. Click to start for Apple continuity camera, system output. Let's see. An option to hide the main window, camera switcher, general preferences, camera overlays. Let me see. A new flip horizontally menu has been added to the video monitor of the outputs. So if you are using a teleprompter and you just want to use a teleprompter with Ecamm and you don't want to get additional software or something like that, then Ecamm has an output where you can flip it horizontally. So let's go back into live demo mode. So now we're looking at live demo mode. And so you can see here, it says my output menu and you can see video monitor. And if we scroll over, you see it says flip horizontally. So now check this out. Let me turn on NDI. Let's go to new scene. Oh, I hear the music. I'm like, why do I hear like a clicking? I don't like that though. Next. They should let me thumbs down. I actually haven't tested this yet. All right, so there's my Pro Max. All right. So you are looking at, take live demo mode off. You are looking at my teleprompter. My teleprompter right now is flipped, so it's right side up because I do have teleprompter software. But if we go ahead, let's bring me, if we go ahead, right, and so you can see my picture there, if I use the Ecamm setting, in theory, it should reverse it. So if I go to video monitor, I'm going to click on flip horizontally. No, that doesn't do. So Rich gave the answer to someone for teleprompter, and I knew that doesn't do what the person was asking. Because what you want is it should be flipped upside down the other way around. All right, that's for another day. But you can see the option, some option there where you can flip it horizontally. You can see I added another monitor over here. My setup is this way. There you go. All right. A vertical, right. Right. So, yeah, let me come back. So, Rich Graham, somebody was asking that question about, and I was like, Ecamm didn't put that because I use a teleprompter. I've been using a teleprompter for 2 years in my Ecamm setup. I would have known. So I was like, there's no way I missed that feature. He told the person. Yeah. So he told, the person was looking for it in a teleprompter, but I don't think Rich understood that it's vertically, it's the other way around. So you do need either a monitor that has the option, that will have, some field monitors do have the option to flip teleprompter mode, or if you're using an iPad like me and you use either Luna Display or Duet Display, they actually have software built in. They have code built in that it will turn on teleprompter mode and mirror it so that when I look at myself, I can see it the way it's supposed to be. All right, so let's go back. What do we have here? I'm just trying to see. What else do we have in this? Fixes an issue where WebM video used a background overlay did not use. So those were fixes. What else is new? macOS shortcut selection is now a part of the profile. Let me see. Includes a new version of the Ecamm Live Loop Deck plugin for choosing a profile. I've been using that. I've been using the Loop Deck Live. I can show you guys that. I've been using that a lot this month with the remote show that I am producing, actually. So that's been super helpful. So let me just bring that. Let's come back over here. Let's go to the screen share. Cool. bring this way. Oh, that's pretty cool. This is new on the Loop Deck Live software, like right below me. You can see you can zoom in. So for demos, that's actually pretty cool. All right, so it looks like 140% is the max. That's actually pretty cool. That's really helpful for like a demo because now you guys can see it a lot better. And then I can take my little zoom tool and then zoom in even more. So with the Loop Deck Live plugin, what we're looking at, this is the Ecamm Live plugin, and you can see now there's this new folder, pick profile. If I open this up, these are my new profiles, right? So I can choose. And so if we come back over here, this is the way my Loop Deck currently is set up to. And so this one here is my wisdom challenge, and this is my default show. So this is the show that I am remote producing for the month of January. And so I have my own dedicated profile for that with its own overlays and all of that good stuff, its own settings, like 1080p, like everything sticks. And so then when I sit at my desk and I want to switch, I just click on that Loop Deck Live shortcut button and it switches the Ecamm profile for me. And that's been super helpful. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Let's see. Add support for Stream Deck Plus. Add support for adjusting audio levels and selecting items with Stream Deck Plus dials. And you can do that with the Loop Deck Plus as well. And I actually really like that. Chapter markers. That's new with the Stream Deck. So you can do chapter markers as well with the Stream Deck plugin. So if we do the same thing. Hey. So many things, which I absolutely love, but where is it? Somewhere here is an add marker. There you go. Right over here, there's an add marker, which I had on this screen right over here anyway. So that's weird, the language. That looks super weird. But that is the plugin. Maybe if I just redo it. Add marker. Here, replace. There you go. That's the Ecamm Live. So if I wanted to go ahead and mark this part, for YouTube, the chapters and stuff like that, you can now have that button from your Stream Deck and press it. So if I knew that I wanted to, if I did a better job at organizing myself for this specific stream, I could have added chapter markers for each new feature, and then it would have given me a text file, and then I could have gone in and copied that text file and edited the description, and I would have had the automatic chapters. So that's a little bit of, it's a great feature, but that's where you really have to be disciplined and remember to go in and actually press the button. And when you get into a new idea, press the button again. And then once the stream ends, it'll show up with a text file and it'll save it for you. So that is cool there. Let me see. You have to tilt the iPad and it'll flip vertically. Ecamm only flips it horizontally. Yeah, but it's still backwards. No, I know that because mine flips vertically, but let me take this off. And there you go. But the mirror effect, so that I can look and I'm not reading it backwards, right? Like the actual teleprompter mode, Ecamm doesn't have that setting, and it's not built in natively to the iPad. That's where you have to use like Duet Display or something and turn on teleprompter mode. I'm just looking to see what else is big here. Comments in the Comments in the comments and reactions window can now be dragged to other apps as text or dragged into the guest chat window. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I knew that. Interesting. So if I open up a text message here, and if I drag, let's see, this, how do you do it? Oh, that's dope. I have to show you guys that. Hold on. What's happening? Oh, that's dope. I don't think I knew that. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. All right, live demo mode. So I have a text message here. I'm just telling Angie, disregard. Okay. So, right. And I'm going to say, you're on stream. Don't be inappropriate. You know. So let's see. I had told Paul, I was confused. I had told Paul to save me, to send me some links, right? Like he had what he was doing. What was it? The USB stuff, right? This here, this HDMI info. Basically, now check this out. If we look on the right-hand side, that's this comment over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this and just drag it. And so now you can see it's a little comment over here, little comment. And I'm just going to bring this into my text messages. And I hit enter and that showed up. Angie says, so don't tell everyone how you ... No, don't tell everyone how I, right? And that just sent the message. And so the same thing, right? I had said to Paul, here's the note I started to type. Hi there, K-Walk. If I want to put this now in this note, I'm going to do the same thing and drag it to the notes. And I'm going to hit enter and it's there. And so do the same thing. He had given us 2 links. This one with the USB here. So you can see on my head, I'm moving it around, put this to the note and it saved it. Oh my God, how cool. That's a really great feature. I don't think you guys understand how great that feature is. That's a great feature. She said, like your coffee. Yes. Thanks. Okay. So that was cool. That's a good feature. See, Paul? Even with me using 4.0 for quite some time, I've already learned something. That was new. The countdown overlay. So if you do a new countdown overlay, let's close this. We don't need this. Close settings. So if you do a new countdown overlay here, right here's a countdown timer. There is now an option for the type. This is new over here. So the type, there you go. So you have countdown for an amount of time, countdown to a time every day, countdown to a date and time, clock and stopwatch. So this date and time, that's new. And you can choose the end time. So you guys didn't know. I booked a trip. I booked a trip. I didn't book the trip. I put a down payment, my deposit, and I'm doing with the cycling community. I'm going to Jamaica in November. I don't know when it is, November or something. Let me see. Let me go to WhatsApp, right? So check this out. So if I wanted to count down, November 23rd, is that when I'm going? November 2023. Let's just say it's November 23rd. I know it's not November 23rd, but if we come back over here, the end time, right? That's when it ends. So then we're just going to come in, click on the little calendar, and I'm going to go all the way to November. I feel like it's the 9th. It's like a 4-day weekend. So we're going to say the 9th, honestly. So it's the 9th. All right, that's when it ends. And let's say I want it to end at 7 a.m. I don't know when I'm flying out just yet. a.m. I have 288 days. Oh, let's put that here. 200, then I can do a little cycling emoji. 288 days, 10 hours, 28 minutes, and 22 seconds till my cycling trip to Jamaica. So I have 288 days, 10 hours, and 28 minutes for me to get physically fit to cycle in Jamaica, because it is a 4-day cycling trip that I will be in the heat and on Jamaica's hills cycling. I'm actually very, very excited for that. I haven't shared that with you guys. I booked that like 2 weeks ago. Shift Command will also add a marker. Very cool. What is going on? DJ Swift, what's popping? How are you? We can turn this countdown off. I do want to have a countdown for me, though. Added them to our share link. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But that's cool. I learned something. What else? Let me cancel that. So let me go back to these notes. That was good, Paul. Let's turn on live demo mode again. Very cool. That was another new thing. I don't think I can show it to you because I am currently live. It is here. Fantastic. Very cool. So here's another new thing in the features, because you are multi-streaming. And then this is where I'm probably going to wrap it. If you want to know more about Ecamm, go to Ecamm Live, the Facebook community. Hang out with us on Thursday. I also offer Ecamm Consulting, indiad.live/discovery if you want to do a discovery call with me. I have coaching consulting packages, indiad.live/consulting package. And I can help you with all of your Ecamm needs. I do remote production. Remote produce some shows this month where Sean Cannell was a guest. Joel Osteen was a guest. For those of you guys that maybe follow football, Anthony Trucks, an NFLer, author. He was on the show today. So that's what I've been actively working on with some other people. John Acuff, Sarah Robbins, a lot of other guests. But anyway, if you need some remote production needs, I can help you out with that as well. So when you are multi-streaming using Ecamm software, like I mentioned, there's a new tab here. It says stream. Right now you can see I'm streaming to 1080p. And if we scroll down a little bit, because I'm streaming to 3 destinations, this is new, this little box over here. So this box over here, it says required speed for 3 destinations. And you can change this, right? You can see now this goes up to from 1 to 10, right? So for 3 destinations, at 1080. So what's going to happen is, as you start to put in, if you want to stream at 4K to 3 destinations, this is going to tell you how much megabits per second you need of your own internet bandwidth. So the higher, so it's twofold. They go in conjunction. The higher your stream quality is, the higher your bandwidth is going to be, right? Your megabits per second that you're going to need of your own internet. So I'm going to segue that into why you would want to use a platform like Switchboard Live. And then we'll call it a wrap. But right now, streaming to 3 destinations at 1080p, I need 17.8 megabits per second upload speed. There is even a built-in speed test. And the speed test, when it did it last, I had 576 megabits per second upload speed. If I wasn't live, I'd have the option to test again, but it's not going to do a speed test, obviously, while I'm live. When you're not live, you can make these adjustments here that show, you can change it to, let's say, 2K, right? Whatever that is, 1440, or switch to 4K. And so what that does is that when you increase your stream size from 1080 to 2K to 4K, this destination goes up. And also as you increase your destinations, I wonder if I go up to 10, cool. This is saying right now that the required speed to stream to 10 destinations at 1080p, I need 59.2, right? And so I'm still good there. And so what it even does is that Ecamm will also tell you if you need to lower your stream quality, and it won't let you do it if you don't have sufficient bandwidth. I have more than enough bandwidth because I have a gig up, a gig down. So this will never be a problem for me. But in certain areas, like I don't know if Kevin is still hanging out with us, but I know Kevin doesn't have the best upload speeds, right? This can then at that point become a little bit of a problem. And so then at that point, that is when you want to bring in a partner like Switchboard Live that I'm the community manager for, right? Because when you take your Ecamm Live profile, your Ecamm Live stream, and you stream to Switchboard Live, that's one destination. So now I can stream in 4K. Let's say if I didn't have the bandwidth, I can send my one stream in 4K to, and so a great example is when I'm at Angie's house. You guys know that the internet is not so great when I'm there, right? So usually I have to lower it down sometimes to 720p. So that would be a great example of when then if I wanted to stream at 1080 or 2K, I would send that one feed to Switchboard Live. Then Switchboard Live, that's why you have those simulcasting services, because those platforms use their own bandwidth. That's what you're paying for. So with Ecamm is giving you the option to multi-stream, but they're not paying for the servers. They're not paying for the bandwidth. That is not something. They're saying, yes, you want multi-streaming. You've been asking for it for 2 years now. We're going to give you multi-streaming, but it is on at your dime with your internet service. Just be mindful of that. And so if you're doing something like I'm doing today, where you can see 17.8 megabits per second, that can be okay if you have about 40 uploads, 40 megabits per second. But some internet providers will only do like 20 megabits per second, right? Where the upload speed is 20. That's what it was at Angie's house. Angie just upgraded within the last 2 weeks, and I haven't been there to test it yet. But previously, she was at 20 megabits per second upload speed. So what that meant was when I'm at her house, again, I had to drop down to either 720 or I could only stream to one place. So then at that point, Facebook was automatically knocked out. And I always streamed to only YouTube at a lower stream because we were capped out at that point, right? Well, that's when a company like Switchboard Live comes in and we pick up the bandwidth, right? So again, 2, 3, maybe 4 is not too bad. But we have customers that are streaming to 20 different destinations. We have customers that are streaming to 30 destinations. At that point, Ecamm can't do anything over 10, right? So then you would need to bring in another platform like Switchboard Live or our competitor, Restream. And the one thing with Switchboard Live is that we are not a live production software. We can't work on our own. Right. So we're not necessarily competing with Ecamm. It's just that. And so you'll see, because like I said, I'm partnering with Katie and with Doc. We're going to be having like a little series where we're going to talk about why, when you choose Ecamm, yes, when it works, for what type of people what type of Ecamm clients will use Switchboard. That's one, right? Why, when you use one versus the other. I just kind of gave you a quick rundown of why, when you would need to pick up another platform when you are multi-streaming to multiple platforms and you want to multi-stream to the highest bandwidth possible. Paul says if you're streaming at 60 frames per second, you're close to doubling your bandwidth requirement, right? So that's another thing to be mindful of as well. So the other piece of it with Switchboard Live is that we also offer viral stream share. So with viral stream share, all these guests that I've been having on Sunday, right? If you're familiar with Restream, you know what channel pairs are. Viral stream share is like that, but on crack, right? So Restream channel pairs, you can actually only link 3 destinations. So if it's someone that is popular and they have 4 or 5 destinations, channel pairs with Restream will max you out at 3. We don't max you out. It's unlimited destinations. And it is one link. It stays the same and you can send that out. So I won't go too much into it because you will hear it once we figure out our plan and our structure. But it is definitely super cool. I love it. And if you want to find out more, you can come hang out with us, switchboard.live/townhall. I need to have some like quick links. I need to redo my comments, honestly, so I can have all of these in my thing. Let me just put that really quick. And so I'm the one, switchboard.live/townhall. If you want to register and find out more about the town hall, I do a live demo. I do them on Thursdays. I do 2 different demo times. I do one on 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, and just recently I added another one on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make it, but you still want to know more about the product, I would recommend still registering, because once you're registered, after the demo is done and it's processed, you actually can go in and sign in and see the replay. So I go a lot more in detail about how to use Switchboard, how you connect it to like Ecamm Live, how you set up your streams, and use case scenarios for like viral stream share and stuff like that. So today was a longer stream. I anticipated today to be a longer stream. We are almost at 2 hours. There was a lot going on today because Loria had a masterclass today. Janice had her masterclass today. But Ecamm Live is releasing 4.0 on Thursday. And since we have Tech Talk Tuesdays, I really wanted to take today to talk about it. If you're not actively using it, you can get it. You can update on Thursday if you want it beforehand and you want to start familiarizing yourself with it. You can grab the beta at ecamm.com/beta, because it is in beta for 2 more days. So you can download it, mess around with it. Hang out with us during the live stream, learn about it, and then, we'll be back on Sunday for Ladies Night with Stephanie Lou. I'm very excited about that, right? Let me come over here and let's just bring this music down. Stephanie Garcia is closing off the month for Ladies Night in January. So I absolutely cannot wait to hang out with her. And that's it. I mean, we have a continued lineup of guests. We have Kat Mulvihill, Katie Fox, K-Walk. I sent Gretchen, if you're still hanging out with us, I sent Gretchen the link. And, just still building out. If you know of anyone that wants to come on, definitely. I'm trying to feature women first. And not that I don't love you guys. I love the men. But, trying to give women a platform when you look at how many women there are in content creation versus, men. We're not. And then even more of the minority, right? The BIPOC, people of color, we're even less at that point. So I'm trying to prioritize women and women of color first. And then, once I'm like, all right, then we'll bring on the guys. But for Tech Talk Tuesday, we are going to start hanging out. I am going to start sending out invites. I am going to send out invoices. I am going to start sending out invites for Tech Talk Tuesdays. That's more of a universal thing. Richard and I, we kind of started and then we stopped. So we're going to get back to a networking security series that we're, going to talk about on our Tech Talk Tuesdays. Kevin, if you want to come on, Paul, you can come on whenever you want, honestly. I know Dr. Elo said he was going to come on, so I'm going to start building that out for Tuesdays as well. And that's it. That is all she wrote. I appreciate you guys. I will catch you guys Sunday and check out the end scene for our guests next week. Buenos nachos, good night. Nos vemos.